I got it! When I first heard about Dave being trapped in a maze...
1, 2, 3, 4!
I built a labyrinth. Can you believe it?
Dave is trapped in a cardboard maze in his living room and he can't get out.
Welcome to Dave Made a Minute, the podcast where a whole bunch of us are exploring the film Dave Made a Maze 1 minute at a time. The twist. Many of the participants have never seen the film. Some don't even know what film they're sampling. They get their minutes and they tackle them as they see fit. Here's your host from the Groundhog Day Project and Michael Myers Minute, Robert Black.
Minute 60. Dave removes some clothes. Before we get to minute 60, how seeing her naked gets us to I Heard That in 4 parts. Part 2. We left my 1999 self in a state of panic. I had completed the 10th and final chapter of a novel called Seeing Her Naked, and somewhere between my old copy of WordPerfect on a computer with no hard drive and my sister's computer with dial-up internet access, most of the text of the final chapter had been lost. I slept fitfully after the final chapter of Seeing Her Naked was lost. I wrote the next day as a note to my by-email audience that it took me a few hours to write the chapter. It, quote, had an ending that had me in tears and completely worn down, end quote. And I explained the following in very brief terms. I cried until I fell asleep, emotionally and perhaps spiritually exhausted. I woke in the morning at about 6 a.m. I had to be to work by 8. With a strange sort of stubbornness, I put behind me the tears of the night before and started typing. And I typed. And I typed. A sort of insane typing, producing far too many words in far too short a time. I rewrote that final chapter, hitting the words that were there and working one of them I could into a new, and I still contend lesser, version of that final chapter. In a way, the new version may have worked because of the pain of the night before. When the character of Katie confronts Joel about his urge to adultery, the argument felt to me more visceral, infused with something it hadn't been before. I emailed the new version out. I made it to work on time. Flash forward a decade and a half to Groundhog Day Project Day 239. There is a major network interested in me. Officially dated Friday, 28 March 2014, but on the internet, you'll see it is Saturday, the 29th. There were 2 rules for the blog that first year, spelled out day 31. I never said midnight. Every day, I will watch Groundhog Day from beginning to end. This day is from 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. I will blog about the movie or something related to it every day as well. I spent a good while Friday during the day writing a press release about the blog. I'd gotten bored with my audience being small. An instructor at Cal State LA who regularly wrote press releases told me that mine was quite good, especially for my first time writing one. The press release was going to be most of the text for that day's entry and was finished around 2 p.m. But having written and rewritten it and sent it places, I neglected to post it onto the blog that night. It just slipped my mind. I was on the verge of violating one of the 2 rules, and I don't know how that would have made me feel. You see, I went to bed, slept well. I hadn't posted anything. But now, on to minute 60 of Dave Made a Maze. To tackle minute 60, we have Liz Whitaker and George Hendricks of I Heard That.
You come home, there's a giant maze in your living room. You're like, what the? There's a giant maze in my living room. I've heard of people rearranging the furniture, but this is wackadoodle crazy. Give me a sense of that.
This doesn't make any sense.
Is that a problem? Is a promise to my segment? My solution is a problem.
It's like a fucking cocktail party in here.
I get a few words from you before you go.
Hey there, welcome back to I Heard That. We're doing a special guest spot on Dave Made a Maze. I'm George, and this is my fabulous co-host Liz, and she is wonderful. Hello, Liz.
Oh, hello, George. That's just the most kind greeting.
I cannot be too kind or too nice when I'm talking about you, because you're kind of one of the best individuals that's ever walked this planet as far as, carbon-based life forms. So, so there's that.
Aw. Oh, shucks, George. I learned it from you.
Oh, did you learn it by watching me?
I did. I learned it by watching you.
That's fantastic. I'm blushing a little bit, but I'm also chagrined is a terrible word for that. I'm blushing. I'm just blushing.
Oh, well, Say, George.
Go Gophers.
Go.
Hey, yeah.
Go Gophers. The Packers. Say, George.
Yeah.
Have you seen this whole there movie that we're watching now here?
You know, it's real funny you ask that because I've not seen this movie. I've only seen a couple of minutes. I heard a couple of real weird guys talking about it in a hot tub at one point, but I don't know. I couldn't listen to all that one because it made me real uncomfortable.
Yeah, I heard some stories about some of the other hosts. They were a couple of ladies, and they were talking about, I don't know, all kinds of sexual activities.
Oh, dear Lord! Ugh, I don't.
Minotaurs and all kinds of unnatural things.
So no, hold the dang phone there. Where do Minotaurs come into play? Because I'm watching a movie about a cardboard maze 1 minute at a time, and I don't know. I don't see any Minotaurs. I see weird clothing changes and flip floppies and conversations and paper outfits. And what's going on? What's going on?
You know, I don't know. All I know is that there's these two girls, and they were talking about this Minotaur and sex, and that's all I took away from it.
Well, that's
they could have made it up. I don't know.
Interesting. That sounds more like Dave made a monkey out of you. So, yeah. Well, that's I'll have to dig down in there and maybe give those girls a listen if I take my medicine, so I don't have the thoughts.
Do you know
the dark thoughts?
There's a bit of a rumor that they are on 5 episodes so far.
Oh, I don't even. Oh, how do you even live at that speed? I don't know. So you know that feeling in Wisconsin when the winter sets in, just like real nice and deep, and it's just snow for months, and you want to murder something just to see a bit of color.
Oh, trust me, I know that experience.
Well, I kind of get a feeling that this is kind of that movie at this point. Like we're like an hour into the movie, we're right at that 60-second mark, and I think I want to murder something just to make some sense in life. I'll exert a little control by taking something's life away. If that wasn't overly clear.
I've been warned by my lawyer not to mention those urges anywhere that others might hear.
They're the urgest of urges, and they are deep and dark, and they come to you in the night.
Got
They come to you, and not to me. For legal, to me, no urges come. I am an urgeless void.
An urgeless void.
I am an urgeless void.
Because you are loaded for bear.
Loaded for bear. That was a little bit of foley of me doing my patented finger gun move there, Elizabeth.
Oh.
It's a good time there.
Yeah, George, you do
Good
love
time.
your finger guns.
Well, I'm an American.
That is, and it's your right.
I have a right to bear arms and finger guns on the end of them.
You've still got that right yet.
So far, so good. Before Obama takes it away.
George, I don't know if you've have you heard the news?
Oh, no, I try not to keep up with politics. It's a little unseemly, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah, that's probably a good life approach.
Last time I paid a lot of attention to politics, there's a lot of talk of cigars and things I wasn't really understanding very well, but hey, what a world. So yeah, Jumbo, people, for tuning into our, I heard that as our, are you okay there, Liz? It feels like you had to blow your nose there for a second there, and I feel like you like a little bit of like a snotty, it's winter in Wisconsin, that'll happen. They get the no-see-ums get up in your nose holes and cause all sorts of ruckus.
Yeah, I think they might have shaken something loose up here.
What did they shake loose up there? There's like a couple of badgers?
There's probably some badgers. I don't know. But
I hear the surest fix for a couple of badgers is some mushrooms.
Some mushrooms.
Yeah.
It's a special kind then.
And then ice fishing on the lake.
Do you know, this conversation is almost as disturbing as all of the whatever's happening on the screen.
Oh, yes, tell us what's happening on the screen there, Liz, because we've gone from a conversation where people are swapping clothes willy-nilly, almost with no regard for composure or compunction or for social norms. It's just clothing is different, and now it's not even clothing, it's paper products.
Paper? Well, do you know, we're in a different kitchen now. We get a cut, and the breakfast is gone. The coffee mug is gone. And
Would you consider this a nook? Or is this more of a... Is there a nook involved?
I would call this more of an eat-in kitchen. An EIK, if you will. In the parlance...
EIK?
In the parlance of the real estate. So, Annie has...
Is Annie okay? Is she okay?
Annie, are you okay?
Is she okay, Annie?
I don't know. It seems like she might have been struck by something.
Oh, such a smooth criminal.
So, the coffee mug is gone, and we've got...
Oh, yeah, so now it's replaced with a wine glass. And it's
single wine.
Honestly, it seems more of a white wine glass than a red wine glass. I'm not
really
sure.
It also seems like she's maybe pouring that wine out of like a flat water bottle. You know, a bottle that
a water
bottle.
A water bottle. Wubba wubba. It's interesting because she's pouring it, and she's not taking the time at the pour. It's just plopping it down in this wine glass, and she's not giving it a chance to aerate or breathe.
No.
It's appalling, really.
It is. It's amazing she can even drink it. Do you know?
Oh, yes, and the pour is very, very healthy pour. It's not the pour of a lady who will only drink just what she needs. She drinks a lot.
She seems like a heavy drinker.
Oh, she's drinking that, and then she passes the glass off to her mate there, and it's all like, here, drink the. And if you'll notice, Liz, there's a whole role reversal as far as power dominance in this scene, with her telling him, no, you drink the wine. I don't. It's just enough for you.
It's almost
and he
like...
says, but...
No, go ahead. Tell your story.
No, I can't finish her thought. I'm just rambling because I am an idiot.
I was just going to say, it's almost like she is saying his lines from the minute before, and he is saying her lines.
Bonza! That's right, she is.
Clever.
She's saying his lines. It's almost the exact same lines before, and it's crazy. Oh, wow, I don't even... Oh, okay, what's up? Oh.
Have I blown your mind?
Wow. My mind is blown. It's so blown.
The no-steams get you too.
Oh, hold on a second. That's not a good colour for that. All right, so...
Oh, no. Do you need to see a doctor?
Oh, yes, I'd love to see a doctor, but we don't have national health care here, so it's not really in the question.
Oh, then you must not be from Britain. You must be from the American South.
Well, that's a lead-in if I ain't never heard one before. Shoot! No, hogs down here. Only people that get Medicaid down here are hogs, because that's where our food comes from, and that's where we
gotta keep that healthy.
Oh yeah, you gotta get the hogs healthy, because you get one sick hog, and next thing the whole crop's gone.
No.
And yes, we do grow hogs and crops down here. It's
gotta harvest that hog crop.
Yeah, that's a bunch of hog crop. Is what
Them's
we used
harvesters
to say.
Real big too.
Yeah.
That's a whole industry that gets supported.
Mm-hmm. Pork and beans.
And machinery.
Sponsored by the Pork and Bean Council of Nassau, Tennessee.
Van de Camps.
True, absolutely. They're their strongest competitor, but we milk both sides. We get paid as much as we can.
That's right. George has the deal with one, and I have the deal with the other.
But don't you go tell nobody that. We'll have to edit that out, because we're going to lose our
keep our secret,
deals.
aren't you? Yes, you are. You're good, listeners.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so that is so hog waller, that's fun. I don't recommend pants when doing that, but
I never recommend pants.
Because pants, Elizabeth, pants are of the devil.
That's what I believe.
The only way I can get my pants off is to take off my Baba belt, and that's how I do it. Elizabeth, Sam's getting back at you. You look like you're about to fit to split with a little bit of nose congestion.
One of them hogs.
You do the
One of them hogs
Hog got loose in the kitchen. Oh, shit. Here's what you do, Elizabeth. You go, pick, 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 and it'll come to you. It'll come real quick.
Okay, I'm going to give that a try. It's oh my, it did work. Woo, that was a good tip, George.
Hey, I'm just about the tip. I'm so sorry. I'm getting a little bit choked up. I just got caught thinking about. I just got caught up thinking about my mama, and it just got me a little locked up. So, you give me a second. I catch my breath. Oh, excuse me.
I think it's a kind edit if I make sure it's not. You said you're all about the tip, and then saying you just been thinking about your mama. Woo! People might get the wrong idea.
Let me. What happens in the holler stays in the holler.
Got a bit of an edible complex happening there.
Oh, well, we can't have edibles down here. It's not legal.
And we'd never want to be against the law.
No, none of them revenuers out there. They come after you real quick.
Oh boy.
By the way, we're from the podcast I Curd Y'all.
Curd that, y'all?
It's an exploratory podcast about the dairy products of regions. Regions. Are there dairy farms in the South, though, George? Oh, Elizabeth, there are dairy farms for days.
For days?
Mm-hmm. Not as many as you find out there in the Midwest there, but there's quite a few down there in the South because with Minnesota, Wisconsin, cheeseheads, it's sort of cheese curds.
Okay.
It's the titular the product name for our other podcast. But the South does do some dairy. It does do some dairy.
So what's the South? What's their trading? How the fuck am I going to say cardboard?
We the South. I hear they like to recycle a lot, and that's a big cardboard industry down there.
Oh, that cardboard! Cardboard. Do you think they?
Oh yeah, you could. Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I was just going to say. Do you think they may have contributed to the sets and costumes in this movie?
Given all the costumes in this movie, I would say that it's a very large amount of cardboard contribution from around the world.
Cheese, glorious cheese, tastes mighty inviting.
When you eat a fucking of cheese, you're looking further than the cheesemonger. Righty-ho there, I love that tune. This here's the Cheesemonger coming at you on a Friday where you Dave Built the Maze Minute listeners wouldn't know, would ya? While we call the cheese facts daily, they only happen 4 days a week, because Fridays are special here at I Heard That. Oh, think you kindly. Friday is Poetry Day. I'm recording today on my favourite stump where the old 8 meets the new. I really ought to get Ollie Anderson to build a seat up here for me. That'd be nice, you betcha. Oh, that's a speedy one. Today's poem comes from G.K. Chesterton. If you don't recognize the name, you ought to look him up, He wrote plays, short stories, books, essays. Guy wrote more words than you or I could probably read in a lifetime, I tell you what. Anyway, this one is called Sonnet to a Stilton Cheese. Stilton, thou shouldst be living at this hour, and so thou art, nor losest grace thereby. England has need of thee, and so have I. She is a fen, far as the eye can scour, league after grassy league from Lincoln Tower. To Stilton in the feud she is fen, yet this high cheese by choice of Finland men, like a tall green volcano rose in power. Oh, think ye kindly, where was I? Plain living and long drinking are no more, and pure religion reading household words, and sturdy manhood sitting still all day shrink like this cheese that crumbles to its core. While my digestion, like the House of Lords, the heaviest burdens on herself doth lay. Oh, I don't know about you, but I'm gonna head over to the cheese shop down Tomahawk Way for good luncheon. Anyway, this has been the Cheesemonger with your Friday cheese poem. Enjoy the rest of Dave with the Maze Minute or whatever the show's called. Back to you, George and Liz. Oh, thank you kindly.
When you eat a factor of cheese, you're looking further than the cheesemonger.
So you see, because we start to have a packing material costumes.
There's an existential blend between real world clothing and then paper products incorporating themselves into say clothing.
Sure.
Until we come. Yes.
Do you think there is anything deeper about Dave and Annie's relationship that we can learn from their cardboard costumed wedding that we see in this minute?
I cannot talk about the depths of their relationship until I see the size of his penis.
Oh, see, that makes sense. I understand.
Yes. Buyer beware and all that. I cannot, I cannot speak for something I have not seen. But they do seem to be speaking at odds with their things because they go from a tuxedo into a wedding dress, and then they have the packing.
The bubble wrap. Oh, the bubble wrap. I love the pops, the bubble wrap. How do you love to pop the bubble wrap?
It is a sound sensory, it is an ASMR dream.
Oh, it's a pleasure to bubble wrap.
And so they have incorporated the real clothing with actual pieces of packing material, such as newspaper for the lapel on his jacket, and then her bubble wrap veil, which she then takes off and is now tissue paper.
Yes, do you know her bouquet is made out of paper as well, and it puts me in the memory of a craft of a craft I once did.
Origami.
No, I mean I used to make flowers out of magazine pages. I made a wreath. I always have to bring a real craft in any week I talk about. I got to have a craft.
I am very interested in your craft, but then we cut to the second 50, where she looks like a young Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and it is very erotic.
A very cardboard Ruth Bader Ginsburg with her cardboard glasses.
She is getting me very card, if you know what I mean.
Oh, you are a tricky one.
Oh, I am. But I can only... I shudder to think of the paper cuts.
Oh, the paper cuts. They would be so painful.
And the worst is the cardboard paper cut, am I right? Because it is basically like a laceration that reaches to your soul.
And then the activity that causes the paper cut, it can also cause the sweat. And when you sweat, there is salt.
It sticks. It's sticking to your body, and it is so gross, and it is like, I'm sweaty now.
Salt in every wound.
It's so sweaty, and it's gross, and it's, but I like it, because I like to be gross, I don't know.
So George.
Yeah, Liz, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, do you have any more things to say about the minute 60 that we are supposed to be talking about?
No. I feel like we have touched very deeply into minute 60.
Well, that's certainly a change from just the tip of earlier. So I think that's.
Oh, now we have gone root and shaft.
So I think that means it's about time to wrap this one up. Oh, maybe we should have wrapped it up first.
It's alright, love. Yeah, you should wrap it up. Let's get on out of here now. We'll have to come back tomorrow, you know. So why don't you tell them what we're from? Tell them about our podcast.
Oh, you know, normally we're not here talking about this Maze movie 1 minute at a time. Normally you can catch us.
Which is amazing.
Oh. Normally.
That's never been used before.
Normally
I made that up. Sorry.
Normally you can hear George interrupt me as we discuss cheese on our podcast. I heard that.
We should say it together at the same time. It's like 1, 2, 3.
I heard
that.
Cool.
And then I could probably disarm all the traps. And then we could finish this maze. Who is with me?
That was Liz Whitaker and George Hendricks of I Heard That, taking on minute 60 of Dave Made a Maze. They will be back next time on Dave Made a Minute, taking on minute 61.
Thank you for listening to Dave Made a Minute. Intro dialogue snippets were taken from Dave Made a Maze, directed by Bill Watterson, written by Bill Watterson and Steve Sears, and produced by John Charles Meyer. Intro music is Diversion by The Equals, featured in the film Dave Made a Maze, and Life Cycle of a Match by Parvis Decree. Outro music is Leaving This Godforsaken Place and Her Presence is Strong Here by Parvis Decree. Dave Made a Minute is a production of Lemming Drop Studio and all other featured podcast producers. You can find more content at lemmingdrops.com. Check us out on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Dave Made a Minute. If you like what you hear, throw us a rating and review on your podcatcher of choice, and check out all of the participants' other shows to spread the love around. Again, thank you for listening.
As long as we're all working together, this is going to be fine. It's going to be great.
I need you to notify the families of everyone who died here today.
Totally. Wait, what?